Okay, let's dive right into today's explainer. We are looking at a really intense, widely circulated source video from commentator Doc Rich. Now, this material jumps headfirst into the deeply polarized debate around government safety nets, and it does this by weaving together viral internet clips, whistleblower accounts, and some pretty intense political reactions. Just to be clear right up front, our goal here isn't to take a side. We're just going to objectively unpack exactly how this argument is constructed and look at the actual claims being presented.
To keep this whole thing organized, here's our agenda. 1. The alleged loophole. 2. The luxury car data. 3. Viral claims of exploitation. 4. The eviction backlash. And finally, 5. Proposed penalties and politics.
All right, let's start with Section 1, the alleged system loophole.
So the foundational claim in this source video is anchored by a woman who describes herself as a former California social services worker. She actually claims that her firsthand experiences working inside the welfare system are what flipped her from Democrat to Republican. And the absolute crux of her argument is how she defines this specific loophole. Basically, she explains that social workers rely completely on Social Security numbers to verify things. But if you don't have an SSN, which is the case for undocumented immigrants, she claims state workers have literally no way to verify your income, your assets, or your property when you apply for benefits on behalf of your U.S. citizen kids.
And this sets up a really stark contrast in the video's narrative. The whistleblower is arguing that while U.S. citizens face this rigorous, trackable financial scrutiny through their Social Security numbers, undocumented individuals basically fall into a massive blind spot. Because their financials can't be tracked in the traditional way, she asserts they are practically waved right through the system.
Well, what exactly happens when they get waved through? According to her, these untracked applications unlock a massive array of state and federal benefits. We're talking full Medicaid, housing assistance, migrant Head Start, fully paid childcare, plus substantial cash payouts, like $1,200 per child and $275 in food stamps per person. She claims this creates a completely unequal playing field.
To really hammer this point home, the source video throws in this highly dramatic anecdote. The whistleblower claims this alleged fraud isn't hidden at all. It's brazenly visible right there in California welfare offices. She literally paints a picture of applicants flaunting Gucci bags and rolling up in Cadillac Escalades, all while demanding government checks. It's a vivid claim meant to show a system totally devoid of oversight.
Moving right along, Section 2, the luxury car data.
So, moving away from those personal anecdotes, the commentator pivots to some hard quantitative claims. He points to a massive data dump from an unnamed red state. Get this, he cites an accountability report claiming that thousands of people receiving SNAP, food stamps, are simultaneously driving high-end luxury cars. The numbers he throws out are wild. 2,000 Tesla owners, 200 Alfa Romeo drivers, and 144 Porsche drivers all actively collecting taxpayer-funded food assistance.
The host then takes this luxury car data and spins it into a broader political argument. He asserts that while conservative states are finally forcing this kind of accountability, liberal or blue states are intentionally covering it up. He claims they are actually filing lawsuits to block this taxpayer data from going public. His question to the audience is basically, hey, if it's this bad in a conservative state, can you even imagine what's happening in California?
Now we hit Section 3, viral claims of exploitation.
To really agitate the issue, the source video leaves the bureaucratic data behind and wades straight into the wild west of social media. It plays these highly polarizing viral clips of people openly bragging about gaming the system. The first one is a 30-year-old mother of 4. When someone asks her if she works, she proudly announces she's been on welfare for 12 years and says she has absolutely zero intention of getting a job, simply because the government already sustains her lifestyle.
And the financial breakdown she gives is honestly staggering. $780. And remember, she claims that represents just the food stamp portion of her monthly take. She goes on to say that's supplemented by $500 in tenant assistance, plus Medicaid and WIC. For the host of our source video, this is his ultimate proof that the safety net has morphed into a generational hammock.
But wait, it escalates. The next viral clip features a pregnant mother of 7 who shockingly claims she has an inside contact, a plug, working right inside the welfare office. She says this corrupt insider is facilitating a cool $3,000 a month in food stamps for her. Oh, and she actually ends her video telling the taxpayers watching not to judge her for quote-unquote killing it.
Now, this brings up a really vital point for us to analyze. Even the host of our source video has to pause here and question the authenticity of this. He openly wonders out loud, is she actually committing organized fraud or is she just trolling everybody? And that perfectly highlights the murky reality we're dealing with. In internet culture, creators know that hyperpolarized outrage equals massive views, regardless of whether the story is actually true.
Which brings us to Section 4, the viral eviction backlash.
So what happens when this manufactured online outrage spills over into real life? Well, the host shows another video of a woman deliberately taunting taxpayers. She's gloating that she lives in a 10-story apartment building and only pays $50 in rent for her entire large family. She specifically thanks the viewers' tax dollars for subsidizing her life, basically begging her audience to get angry at her.
And shocker, they got angry. The source video shows the climax of this whole saga. The creator posts a follow-up video, but this time she is in tears. She explains that furious viewers tracked down her building and reported her viral bragging straight to the housing authority. As a direct consequence of her online taunting, she was served with a 30-day eviction notice. The host presents this whole thing with a very stark, well, you reap what you sow kind of attitude.
Finally, Section 5, proposed penalties and politics.
Culminating his reaction to all this alleged evidence and viral outrage, the host shifts from just giving commentary to proposing actual policy. He says if he were president, he'd implement an immediate, sweeping cutoff of benefits for anyone caught exploiting the system, a total sink or swim approach. And to enforce it, he outlines a really harsh timeline. He argues that failing to provide for your kids while fraudulently relying on the state should mean mandatory jail time, scaling all the way up to 5 years in federal prison for repeat offenders.
He then wraps up his entire commentary by framing this welfare debate strictly along party lines. Claiming the Democratic Party inherently relies on giving away free handouts just to buy votes, he makes a direct call to action. He urges his audience to go out and vote Republican in the primary and midterm elections to completely dismantle what he sees as a broken, fraud-riddled system.
So, as we wrap up this explainer, we really have to look at the big picture and ask ourselves a critical two-part question. First, where exactly is the line between a necessary safety net for a functioning society and a bureaucratic system that's just too vulnerable to exploitation? And second, how much of what we just saw reflects widespread systemic failure versus just the hyperpolarized, outrage-driven nature of the internet distorting reality for clicks? It is a complex intersection of real-world policy and digital clout chasing that demands our critical attention. Thanks for joining me today, and keep questioning what you see out there.